My darling, welcome to Busan. So, as I was sitting in the KTX, the fastest and most convenient train in South Korea, I was thinking about how much of a privilege it is to be young, educated, and free. It's a privilege to travel, a privilege to move through the world as a South African girl from Soshanguve, now living in South Korea. Every time I remember where I come from, gratitude just fills me up. You see, here I can travel late at night knowing that the trains are running and that the streets are safe. It's so sad that I can't say the same about home. In South Africa, traveling after 6 as a woman is very dangerous. Can be considered as suicide. Our children and women are not safe, and GBV has become a painful norm. And that's exactly why we have to speak about it, because silence protects nobody. The world needs to know. The world needs to know that South Africa is facing a national crisis. And with our purple profiles, with us standing in solidarity, we are saying enough is enough. Anyways, this vlog has 3 themes. I just made 3 little themes. I know this is a vacation, but everything that I do is very intentional these days, all right? So here it's all about self-love, self-care, and self-awareness. To know yourself is the beginning of understanding the world. So you need to romanticize your life, Chomi. Add softness where you can. Do small things that make you happy. You see, you need to protect your peace, and you'll see how life becomes gentle and how the heaviness slowly lifts. Allow yourself to feel the wind on your skin, to hear the sound of the ocean, and let love find you exactly where you are. People say those living abroad are not here for a long time, just a good time, right? And maybe that's why relationships don't last. But honestly, I think it's a personal choice. You choose what you want. Some people date to secure the bag, some date for love, some date to build, and some date for vibes. And me, I like the first two. I prefer dating for love or money, as long as I'm happy. But dating for vibes, that one shows no plan, no purpose, and no intentionality. And in this life, you must be goal orientated. Everything you do must have a meaning, right? Intentional living means knowing what you're doing and why. It means spending your time in ways that matter. So ask yourself, are you choosing with purpose or just acting from habit? Right, now we are at Haeundae Beach, one of Busan's most iconic spots. The air was fresh, the water was glowing, and something about the atmosphere just made life simple again. In April this year, I decided to elevate and transform my life. I entered a 75-day challenge. There was fitness, discipline, reading involved, and everything I learned was so transforming, right? I learned new ways of making food, staying fit, showing up for myself, gratitude. It was amazing. We had to read 10 pages a day, and my love for reading came back. I didn't lose much weight though, maybe about 2 kgs, but my mindset, that transformed beautifully. I started seeing myself differently, talking to myself differently. I looked in the mirror with a softer gaze. I measured myself. I learned my rhythms, and I started understanding my body and soul. I stopped going out. I started drinking less, and by May, June, I started my YouTube channel. And by July, I stopped drinking completely. So you can just imagine. Just for 75 days, and my life was just renewed. So no, the 75 days didn't shrink my body. I still need to work on that, but it expanded my life. It helped me find myself again, and along that journey I learned so many things, right? Yeah, I learned that we actually have time. I know we are always rushing, comparing, and panicking, but your journey has its own timing. You are not behind. You are just evolving, and you have time. The 24 hours, it's enough. You can actually get so much done, right? And I learned that I am capable and deserving of love, and not just romantic love, but self-respect, gentleness, friendships, and care, right? I learned that I am enough, and even on my quiet days, that it's okay to feel. And I noticed that I am able to love genuinely, and that's why I also deserve that genuine love, right? I learned that what you say to yourself matters more than what others say. So your inner voice is the soundtrack to your life. Speak with kindness. I read a Bible verse on Proverbs 18, I think it's verse 21. It says, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who use it will eat its fruits. So you need to be careful of what you say about yourself to yourself, because whatever you say to yourself, it will come into fruition, right? I also learned that the pie is big enough. There's room for everyone in content creation, in the workplace, in music, in everything that you want to find yourself into in business, right? The pie is big enough. So someone else's shining doesn't dim your light. We are all going to get a slice, right? And I learned that fear is an illusion. It only exists when you stand still, but the moment you move, the fear disappears. Just look at how you once feared to do something, but the moment you just got it done, you realized, oh, it was not that bad, right? And I also learned that people are willing to help. Once you open up, the world opens up to you. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And I learned that God exists. Oh my goodness, God exists. He exists in His timing, in the protection, and in quiet miracles. There's never a time where I can say I did it by myself. It was all God. That's why when I say that, when I remember where I come from, when I remember where God took me from, I will never go back. And I need you to know and understand that God exists. He exists in everything, in every corner of our lives. He is always behind us or beside us, but when we are in trouble, He is always in front of us to protect us, right? And God has been so good that I realized that miracles are not just in big things, but in the small things. When I'm running and about to catch a train, and the train delays, I'm able to make it, I just say thank you, Lord. When I want to catch the elevator, I just say thank you, Lord, when it opens for me, right? Like those little miracles has made me appreciate knowing God. And I also learned that money is there. it's not easy to get money, right? But it is available, and it comes with purpose, alignment, and consistency. And with money, you really need to learn how to make it, how to keep it, and how to grow it. Make sure that you learn all these steps. You won't learn them at the same time, of course, but just try to study your finances, have a budget, right? And I learned that doing what you love is the best feeling. Like, your passion can carry you further than pressure ever will. Ever since I started creating content, ever since I started speaking up, I'm finding myself in every video, every thumbnail, every story that I write, everything that I design. I just find myself, because I'm realizing I love this. I do this on my free time. I do this when I'm stressed. I do this when I'm bored. I love it. So it's very important to do what you love. And I also learned that poverty is a mindset, right? It's not the lack of money, but the lack of vision and possibilities and beliefs. So once you transform your thinking, you also transform your life. I saw that some food that I used to eat back home that were considered food for poor people are actually considered as luxury. As I travel around the world, I see people, right, enjoying the food, like rice and eggs, right? Back home we used to eat pap and eggs, and they'll say you're poor. But no, in South Korea they eat rice and eggs, and that's luxury. It's a matter of choice. Yeah. Hey, not me preaching and feeling smart. Anyway, guys, I'm on vacation, and I need to act like it and stop acting like I'm also on vacation, right? Resting while working is the best feeling. Being intentional with every move and appreciating the little things, right? I really enjoyed the time here. We were just going around the market around Haeundae Beach, and I really appreciate having someone that understands that my content creation means a lot to me, and that even when we are having our fun, we can just add a little bit some shots here and there, right? We don't do it like too much. We don't spend all our day taking content, but as we are appreciating the moment, we are also able to take a few shots. So here we were back at the beach at night. What a beautiful life. God, I am grateful. The waves are doing that thing they always do, you see, coming and going, teaching us about letting go without saying a word. And while we're here, let's talk about something that sparkles, something I love. I love sparkles, not just shiny things, but anything that glows, anything that reminds me of light. Because I've always believed that when you do what you love, you sparkle naturally and you become your own light. So here we are, speaking life, motivating people to self-love, reminding each other to keep choosing ourselves even when life gets loud. And I think let's just talk about the importance of the person that you date, because who you date determines the quality of your life. Yeah. That's real, right? It's a difficult topic, but let's have it. Choosing a partner isn't just about romance, it's about self-love, self-respect, and the life you want to build. In love, yes, we compromise, we meet each other halfway, but we never, ever compromise our values or our self-respect. See, you can be doing it for love, for money to build, but anything that affects your mental health negatively, avoid it. Please protect your peace like it's your last pair of shoes on sale, because once it's gone, it's gone. When we talk about self-love, self-care, and self-awareness, we are also talking about everything around you, okay? The company you keep, the food you eat, the beverages you drink, and the relationships you allow. We are also talking about what you read, what you watch, and what you listen to. All those things shape your mind and your mood, even when you think they don't. So recently, I started watching Shameless again. Do you know Shameless? Frank, Kyle, Lip, what's her name? What's the lady's name? I forgot, but yeah. I've watched Shameless at least 2 times in the last years. And now I just thought, I saw it on Netflix and I was bored. And I'm like, let me catch up. But the next thing, I found myself cursing a lot, like way too much. And that's a habit I don't appreciate. So even with entertainment, to me, it does influence who you become. And I stopped watching Shameless as much as I like Fiona, and I love Shameless, but I was like, nope, this is not the content I'm supposed to be consuming, not now, because I don't want to be going out saying the F word randomly. No. So here we were heading to Haeundae Blueline Park. The weather was a bit off, but we took the beach train and just enjoying these coastline views, the Skywalk, and the ocean under my feet, like the city behind me and the future in front of me. Busan has that softness, like a quiet magic that reminds you that life can still be beautiful if you let it. There's something about this city. It feels like a reset. I just felt like I was on vacation. Well, I was on vacation. Yeah, it feels like breathing out after holding your breath for too long. And as I walk, I'm thinking about life. Just thinking about choices, about purpose. And I just want to ask you something, Chomi. Are you living intentionally, or are you just moving through life? Because intention changes everything. Intention turns a simple moment into a memory. Intention makes you realize you deserve joy, you deserve peace and softness. Intention reminds you that you are not here to survive every day. You are in this world to live. And sometimes it's the small choices, like choosing water over another energy drink, choosing a walk instead of taking another hour scrolling on TikTok, right? It's choosing people who speak life into you rather than drain you, right? It's choosing silence when the world wants noise, and choosing yourself when you've spent years choosing everyone else. And being here in Busan has made me reflect on how important it is to slow down, to acknowledge your growth. Give yourself credit. Yes, do that, because I know some of you have survived things you never even talk about. You've survived heartbreaks, disappointments, rejections, and a lot of people are starting over again and again, and still you are here, you are still breathing, and you're still trying, right? You're still hoping and still becoming, and that on its own is your superpower. So I just want you to keep going. And sometimes I know you have to just pause and say, I'm proud of me. You have to do that even when no one else says it. Say it to yourself. As we are walking through these coastal paths, seeing the waves hit the rocks, seeing kids play and tourists taking pictures, seeing couples holding hands. That's cute. It reminds me that life is both simple and complicated at the same time. But you don't have to figure everything out today. You just need to be present. Just try today. Just live today. Just do one thing that makes your soul feel heard, right? And you need to remember that the world will always try to tell you who to be, what to want, who to love, how to behave, but it's actually your job to decide for yourself. It's your job to choose peace, to choose softness, and to choose a future that looks like you. And even if you are not where you want to be yet, it's okay. You are not behind. You are just in process. Just like healing, it is a process, right? And growth, it is a process. And sometimes rest is also part of the process. Celebration is too. It is part of the journey. We wait for big milestones to celebrate, but Chomi, even waking up and choosing to try again is worth celebrating. Healing is not only the heavy crying and breakthroughs, it's also the soft moments where you notice that the things that used to break you don't break you anymore. And while we are talking about healing and purpose, think about the world right now. People everywhere are finally choosing to show up as their most authentic selves. Have you seen how people have now started jogging, walking, counting steps, eating healthy? You see it in music, in fashion, and in creators online. People choosing to live loudly. Look at how artists like Beyonce and Taylor Swift just shake the world by simply being themselves, how they move with purpose and how they take up space without realizing. Have you seen our Tyler? Have you seen Rihanna? Have you seen Casper? Like, everyone is just choosing themselves, like how they move with purpose, how they take up space without apologizing. They remind us that you don't dim your light to make others comfortable. You just need to shine, and you let that light guide whoever needs it, right? And the same applies to you, Chomi. You don't need to be famous to influence someone else's life. Sometimes it's just you being kind, you healing, and you allowing yourself to grow. That's your influence. The world is watching ordinary people do extraordinary things simply by telling their stories, right? People go viral for sharing their morning routines, travel journeys, their healing, and just their honesty. So never think your story is too small. Someone out there needs to hear exactly what you lived through, and that's why I started the Teachers Podcast. I just want to hear about teachers' experiences, their life before, their life as teachers, and as they're growing in the profession. So if you are a teacher teaching online in your home country or abroad, I would like you to be a part of the Teachers Podcast and join us in sharing your story. See, Busan reminded me that every person walking past me has a whole story I know nothing about. They have a dream, a wound, and a hope. You know, everyone has a beginning and maybe a miracle on the way. So while we're here, I just want to say to you, Chomi, Stop shrinking yourself. The world is full of people doing bold things, starting businesses, traveling solo, by the way, and changing careers, loving loudly, healing deeply, and reinventing themselves, right? Trends come and go, but being real, being intentional, that never gets out of fashion. That will never stop trending. Guys, I'm a teacher, okay, so don't mind the voices. So yeah, every time I scroll online, I see something that reminds me how fast the world is changing. Like, people are talking about mental health like never before. People are choosing quiet luxury, like soft living, slow mornings, and mindful eating, just choosing clean habits, and people are choosing peace over popularity. And that's beautiful to see. And you also, Chomi, you deserve a peaceful life too. You deserve soft living. You deserve slow mornings where you are not rushing, where you wake up with gratitude instead of anxiety. And if you're not there yet, it's okay. What matters is that you are trying, and there's something amazing about trying. And also, here's something else trending everywhere: romanticizing your life. People are learning to treat even boring moments as something special. Lighting a candle while you work, playing jazz in the background, taking yourself out for coffee, dressing up just because you deserve to feel good, turning small routines into rituals, turning ordinary days into gentle stories. And maybe that's the message. Life becomes lighter when you stop waiting for big happiness and start noticing the small happiness that's already around you. As I stand here with, everything, people watching the ocean, watching the horizon dissolve into the sky, I'm reminded that life doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful. Your life doesn't need to look like someone else's timeline. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to grow slow. You are allowed to start over at any age. You are allowed to change your mind. And you are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to reinvent yourself as many times as you need. I'm starting a new degree, a whole new degree. Digital business. I've always been a teacher, that's what I know. But I'm taking the leap of faith. And you can also do it. And no matter what you've lost, the future is still open. The road is still long and your story is still unfolding. So yeah, don't limit yourself, Chomi. Let's keep going. Like I said, I am a teacher and my kids are waiting, but this note is not done. The vlog is not done, so I'm coming back to finish off. So, Chomi, as you are watching this vlog, as you are hearing my voice, I want you to take a deep breath and remember who you are. You are allowed to be gentle with yourself. You are allowed to be proud of yourself. And you are definitely allowed to choose yourself. And yeah, let's wrap it up. I'm really grateful to have you here. I really appreciate you watching till this far. So thank you very much for watching till the end. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Tell your mother, your brother, your grandmother, and aunt about the right space with Teacher Neo, okay? My name is Neo. I am brave. I am brown. I am beautiful. I am blessed. And so are you. Remember, this is the right space with Teacher Neo. See you in the next adventure.